Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. Why is Amazon selling a book that people are saying is fake and the author has no rights to this book and he doesn't even have evidence that the things in this book are true? And people that are going to go off in the comment section have every right to go off on Candace Owens because Candace Owens and other people are talking about this book, but it's fake. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Tuesday morning. I hope you guys are having a great day and ready because I got a good show set up for you guys. All right, we got 6 lead stories for you guys today. First, we're going to talk about Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-baby mama's memoirs being sold on Amazon, but people are saying it's fake. In our second lead story, we're going to talk about Mary J Blige maybe being on one of Diddy's freak-off tapes. Our third lead story, we're going to talk about Touré saying that Diddy is mentally detached from himself. Then we're going to talk about an old Diddy interview where he talks about being arrested for the parties he's throwing. Pretty ironic. Then in our fifth lead story, we're going to talk about Diddy's streaming service numbers jumping up. People are playing his music more now that he's been arrested than before. Then we're going to close out lead stories with Drake following top 5. And by the way, top 5 has been released from jail yesterday. Then when we're done with lead stories, we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Janet Jackson, Yo Gotti, and Victoria Monet. Then when we're done with quick stories, we're going to go to question of the day and then close out, as we always do, with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Kim Porter's book has been released and leaked by her friend and is now available on Amazon. All right, in yesterday's show, I briefly played a clip from Candace Owens. People got really mad I was playing Candace Owens. And she was talking about excerpts from Kim Porter's book, right? So for those who don't know, Kim Porter is Diddy's ex, and he has, I think, 3 kids with Kim Porter, okay? She suspiciously passed away around the release of her book. Allegedly, people are saying that maybe Diddy had something to do with it. Now, of course, that this trial and all these things are coming out, people are talking a lot more about it. That's why this is making the news and the headlines. Anyways, so they're saying that this book never came, well, not they're saying, this book never came out. It's always been, completely just removed from the face of the earth, right? After she passed away. And now all of a sudden it popped up on Amazon, right? So I have another little clip. I know I'm going to get attacked in the comment section, but here's a little clip of Candace Owens talking about this book. And people that are going to go off in the comment section have every right to go off on Candace Owens because Candace Owens and other people are talking about this book, but it's fake. And Candace Owens is not making it clear that this book is fake. After we play the clip, I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown that Lauren LaRosa did on The Breakfast Club. I took some notes from her to tell you guys about. And more importantly, why is Amazon selling a book that's supposedly been from Kim Porter that people are saying is fake and the author has no rights to this book and he doesn't even have evidence that the things in this book are true? All right, so we're going to dissect that. We're going to first play a clip of Candace Owens, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Take a listen.
Well, guess what? It was just announced yesterday that Kim Porter's book is being published. It's a 60-page book entitled Kim's Lost Words. It claims to be a collection of the diaries of Kim Porter, the mother of Diddy's children. The book publisher is claiming that it was the friends that gave him this thumbnail. Friends also provided copies of these alleged sex tapes so that he knew that it was legitimate.
So Candace goes on, obviously I can't play the whole thing for copyright reasons, but Candace goes on to say, I think we did play clips of it, but she's saying that, oh, this guy is claiming that, he got the thumbnail, but that's where he saw all the evidence. And she's making it seem as if like her friends did this for her so that it could get out. She's using the words allegedly, but she's not making it clear that this guy, of what some people are saying, is just completely making this up and there's no facts behind it. Candace is making it seem as if though like her friends took this thumb drive, gave it to him. He's seen the videos. That's why he knows that it's real. And she's making it seem, not just Candace, to be fair, a lot of people online are making it seem like her friends took whatever they could get. That's why it's only 60 pages and everything was solidified. And none of that is true because he has been unable to produce this thumbnail. He's been unable to produce the videos. He's been unable to produce the transcripts. So anybody could say, yeah, Kim Porter's friends gave me this thumb drive. They gave me this video. I have seen everything and that's why it's real. Like, come on, there's a bunch of crazy people in this world. If I say that, I'll have to show proof. And this guy hasn't shown any proof. So, more importantly, I would like to know, and I tried to make some calls today. Of course, Amazon didn't get back to me, but how is Amazon selling this book? I'm sure in a couple of days, we're going to hear some lawsuits coming about because of this. And I'm sure that Amazon is going to have to take this down. You can't just publish a book with these accusations about these people and not have any proof or any transcripts. I think it's ridiculous. And if it is allowed, the laws need to be changed. I think it's crazy. Some of the things in the books, well, it's very detailed, so I have to kind of edit it. But some of the things in the book, he's saying that that Kim was saying the first time that Diddy hit her is when he asked her to use a sexual toy on him from behind, and she said, "No, I don't want to do that," and he hit her. That was the first time. Again, this is the excerpts from the book. Again, no proof of transcripts, no proof that this even came from Kim Porter's computer, nothing. This could just be completely made up. Another thing that they're saying is that in the book that Kim is saying that he threw a chair at her, and that she's also saying in the book that Diddy was on tape sleeping with underage boys. I actually played that clip in yesterday's podcast. That's where people were really going in on me and Candace Owens. Again, just to be clear, I said yesterday that we don't know if these things are true, okay? But I totally understand now why people were so mad playing this Candace Owens clip, because she's making it seem like this guy just got this and he is doing us a favor by releasing it. You know, anyways. Another thing that somebody else is really upset about is Albie Shore. So Albie Shore is Kim Porter's first baby daddy, and he's a big R&B singer from back in the day. And she had a kid with Albie Shore. And in the book, allegedly, Kim is saying that her, Albie Shore, and Diddy had sexual encounters, and Diddy and Albie Shore were together as well, too. That's what it's saying in the book. So Albie Shore is like, this is not true. Everything is false. This guy is writing this book, writing all these salacious things that are not true. So Albie Shore is going ahead and threatening to sue this guy who claims that he got all these things. And I'm sure he's going to be on his way to suing Amazon as well. That's who I would go after. I wouldn't even go after this author. I would go to whoever is selling this book. And yeah, I think that's all the notes that I have here. The guy's name is Chris Todd. He is connected at the center of this. Kim Porter said that Kim Porter's friends said that they provided him the evidence, which is not true, and etc. All right, I got everything. So just really crazy. Everything is going online about this. I will definitely follow up. Of course, you know that anything that's going on with Diddy right now is super viral and super crazy, but we have to be careful of the things that we're reporting. Anything that I tell you about here, it's from a reliable source. And I really don't understand how Amazon could be selling a book titled Kim Porter's Lost. I can't even remember the name of it here. Let me check in. Kim Porter's Lost Words. And it's not true. It's just not true. So please don't buy this. Please don't support this. And yeah, this is just, I just can't believe Amazon would do something like this. All right, in our second lead story, Mary J. Blige has been accused of being on one of Diddy's freak off videotapes. Now, I just talked about earlier in the first segment about having credibility and things being true and having receipts, right? I did hear about this a couple of days ago. I didn't want to talk about it, but it's really starting to gain up a lot of steam. Some people are saying they have seen the videos. Nothing has released yet, but I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people are talking about it. Here is a TikTok creator making mention of it. I want to share it with you guys. Take a listen.
Mary J. Blige is allegedly on a freak-off tape with Diddy. And a lot of people have always wondered about Mary J. Blige, and they feel like she is in on some shit because she has never opened her mouth, and she has been with Diddy since the very beginning.
All right, so that video is like 5 minutes long. So she goes on to saying that, Mary J. Blige was, with Diddy from the beginning. There's a ton of pictures with Mary J. Blige and Cassie, and apparently this freak-off video is Mary, Cassie, and Diddy. And in a lot of the pictures, Cassie has bruising, etc. Again, no proof. There's been a lot of people that have been in pictures with Diddy and Cassie. No, that's not proof. She goes on to talking about how there's a rapper named Danny Boy, and he says that how he was dating Mary J. Blige when she was 24 years old and he was 15 or 16, alluding to the fact that Mary and Diddy kind of have these same kind of, freaky kind of fantasies and fetishes. So again, no proof, but it's really kind of building up. And most of the time when things kind of build up like this, there may be some truth to it. More importantly, why I wanted to bring it up is just to prove to you of something that I said a couple of podcasts ago, where this is literally just the beginning. We're all been talking about Diddy for the past couple of days. I'm telling you guys, in the next couple of weeks, we are going to see some real bombshell announcements, especially from the music industry. Diddy may have been kind of like the kingpin of all this because he was the one known to have all these parties, but there's a lot of things and there was a lot of people at these parties. There's going to be a lot of these stories coming out and a lot of these videos, a lot of text messages. Who knows what the feds have and who knows what the feds are going to release. Mary J. Blige is just one. Yesterday, I played a lot of clips in yesterday's podcast. This is just proof that anybody that was around Diddy, anybody that was close to him, that was tight with him, they're going to get wrapped up into this. And that's just from the outside. Imagine what Diddy now sitting down in jail, not getting bail, facing life in prison. Who is he going to name so that he could get a lesser sentence and get out? Again, Diddy was known for having multiple celebrities stay at his house, be at his house all the time, weekends. I mean, this is what Diddy was known for. This is what he did. So strap in. It's going to be a crazy ending to 2024. It's going to be wild. All right, in our third lead story, Diddy is mentally detached from himself as he's allegedly been a drug addict for 15 years with several unsuccessful interventions, says Touré. For those who don't know who Touré was on MTV and I think also BET. He's a very well-known, credible journalist, especially in the hip-hop community. He's been around for years. This video, I don't know why the volume is so low. I'm going to try to turn it up. He doesn't, I don't know, something's wrong with the audio, I think. But I'm going to play clips of it for you and talk to you about it on the other side of why I'm playing it for you. But take a listen. Listen carefully, okay?
Diddy has been an addict for 15 years. I had anonymous conversations with several people who know Diddy really well. One of them told me the last time I saw him, there was nothing behind his eyes but a vapid darkness. Diddy's years-long perpetual drug haze meant that some of the women who are suing him, he doesn't even remember them. And people who know him say they don't recognize him. He's been detached from himself for years. There were multiple interventions and they all failed.
So why this is important is not to make any excuse at all, but Charlemagne the God on from the Breakfast Club said this on his podcast, and he's the first person and only person, I think, other than Touré, that was talking about this, that for the past 10 or 15 years, Diddy has been high and on drugs and detached from himself. And again, Charlemagne or Touré, they're not making excuses, but they're saying that this is where this behavior is coming from. And if you read some of the lawsuits, that's what people are saying. One girl was like, you get so drunk, I don't even know who you are. You turn into this monster and grab my hair and grab me up and down the hallways. When he was arrested, the cops said they found him. He was about to turn himself in, and he was in his hotel room, and he had pink powder, which was ecstasy, in his hotel room. Now, you know the feds have just raided both of your homes. You know the entire world is watching your every step. And if you're walking around and you have drugs in your hotel room, you're an addict. Again, not making any excuses, but it seems as though a lot of these things comes from Diddy drinking and being on drugs and completely just being detached and not even knowing what he's doing. And that kind of level and that kind of money and that type of success, those drugs get to you. So Diddy has a problem. And a lot of people who I talk to about this subject is like, I talked with my mom. I just spoke with my lawyer about it actually just yesterday. He's like, it's really sad. You have everything in the world. You're a billionaire. You have all this success. You have all this or whatever. And how could you do this to yourself? And I think this is not an explanation, but this just brings us a little bit more into Diddy's world of, you have all of this, but if you have issues that you haven't dealt with and you're self-medicating yourself and you're drowning yourself in alcohol and drugs, you're not even coherent enough to understand what it is that you're doing to your own self. So we as normal sane people are like, what's he doing? But if he is so drugged up and so detached from reality, then these are the things that happen, So, if he is a drug addict, I hope while he is in jail, even if it is for the rest of his life, he can at least, get the help he needs, right? Talk to a therapist, get some work. A lot of people don't realize, I even talk about this in my book where I didn't even realize this, is that alcohol is a depressant. And a lot of people use alcohol thinking it's going to get you through, but all it does is, and they also use it and they're self-medicating themselves, but they don't even realize it, So you get drunk, you're like, I get through the night. You don't remember. You wake up in the next morning and you're depressed. So what do? You take uppers, you take coke, you do this. And that's what happens with this perpetual kind of just drug habit. So again, not making any excuses, but to maybe give a little bit more insight to what Diddy was going through and what he was thinking. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but people now are starting to think that, there was a lot of drug use and he was just totally detached from himself and reality. All right, in our fourth quick story, Diddy speaks about his parties in 1999 interview. He says, they're going to probably arrest me. It seems that Sean Diddy Combs had a feeling that his extravagant parties would land him in hot water one day. After his arrest in New York, he faced serious charges, including, we all know this by now, and Diddy seems to hint that he might have eventually find himself in trouble in an old ET commercial. ET is Entertainment Tonight for those younger viewers who don't remember what Entertainment Tonight was. Is Entertainment Tonight still on? Anyways, let me read on. Sorry. He says in the clip, you're going to hear about my parties. They're going to shut them down. Combs said to Entertainment Tonight at the time, they're probably going to arrest me doing all the crazy things, just trying to have a good time. The Bad Boy Entertainment founder added, they won't even give me a permit for my parties, man. They don't want me to throw parties no more, but that ain't going to stop me. I'm going to keep having my fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. All right, I have a little clip of that commercial. And remember, this is from 1999. This is from 25 years ago. And why this is important, it's the same thing I talked about with you guys in yesterday's podcast. The prosecution is going to use this against Diddy in court. Again, it doesn't prove his guilt, but it goes to tell the story of the type of lifestyle and the type of person he was for the past 25 years. Take a listen.
Parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. You're going to hear about my parties. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me.
So when he says arrested there, he more probably is meaning like that night, like at that party because he doesn't have a permit. But it's just ironic that he's saying, they're going to arrest me for my parties. And 25 years later, you see the man getting arrested for his parties. But again, in the broader spectrum, they're going to use these things to paint a picture of the type of person he was. And that's what they'll use in the, don't forget, it's a racketeering case, right? So they got to show an organized crime, right? So he's been using all of his enterprises to facilitate all of these parties. And at these parties, there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's all this sex going on. And then we all know what ensues after that. So just crazy, man. All right, in our fifth lead story, I guess some positive news for Diddy. Diddy's music streaming numbers jump after recent arrest. Sean Diddy Combs' catalog has seen a significant jump in streams since his arrest and unsealing of the indictment against him last week. According to the industry data and analysts, the mogul's music saw an average of 18.3 increase in streams during the week of his arrest compared to the prior week. Diddy is charged with federal, okay, we all know his charges. And then the article goes on to ask, are you listening to Diddy's music more or less since his legal troubles? I wanted to throw that in here because I want to ask you guys, especially the people who are listening to this podcast on CFQR600.com or 600 AM in the Montreal area, do you guys still want me to play Diddy during the hip hop, the 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B hour? I think I played one song last week, and I kind of felt weird when I was loading it in. I was like, do I play Diddy songs now? Like, I don't know. Apparently, people are listening to them more. 18% are listening to them more. You know, when R. Kelly, had his legal troubles, they saw his cases, his songs get played. I think it was like 80 or 85% left, 85% less. And so I'm just wondering, is it maybe because he hasn't been found guilty yet? Is it because maybe, with R. Kelly, he had minors? At the end of the day, it's still, he's still, we all still seen the video of him hitting Cassie in the elevator. Some people think that's enough for them to see. Again, maybe not all the charges that the feds are including him, but maybe some people like that's enough for them to get turned off. Some people are like, hey, that happens all the time. I don't know. I wanted to put it to you guys. Like I said, especially my listeners on CFQR 600. Do you guys want me to play more Diddy, not play Diddy? Let me know. Send me an email, trent@cfqr600.com, or comment below this YouTube video or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. All right, in our sixth and final lead story. All right, I finally have a lead story that's not Diddy, guys. Top 5 is a free man and his charges has been dismissed. For those American or people around the world, Top 5 is a rapper from Canada. He has some songs out, whatever, but he's more known for his arrests and his activity in the streets. Drake has shouted him out, Chromas and whatever. So, he has some buzz. Academics talks about him in the U.S. I think he was dating like an OnlyFans girl in the U.S., so he had some buzz. I think he actually ran off to L.A., and then that's where actually they caught him and they brought him back. So his trial has been very talked about in the news. And it just so happens that his first day of trial was yesterday and all charges were dropped and he's dismissed. He's a free man. A lot of people are rejoicing, a lot of Canadians. Shout out to Friday Ricky Dread. I first saw it on his Instagram. Here's a little clip of Top 5 being released and his first news interview. Take a listen.
An innocent man just came home, right? 3 years the journey with the best lawyer, Gary Girl.
So you see there, he shouts out and he says, shout out to the best lawyer. I'll let my lawyer do the talking. Ironically, after that, he went on to post on his Instagram himself and his lawyer. And he said, shout out to Big Bro, Champagne Poppy. So shout out to Drake for the lawyer fees and for Gary Grill for being the best lawyer in Toronto. So he's like, yo, thanks, Drake. Thanks for paying my lawyer fees. A few minutes later, a post comes on my feed. It says, Drake unfollows Toronto rapper Top 5 on Instagram after he thanked him for paying his lawyer fees. Now, Top 5 has always been riding for Drake with the Drake and Kendrick beef. And Drake, has shouted him out a couple of times. So I don't know if this was like, Drake unfollowed him to be like, yo, bro, why would you tell people I'm paying for your lawyer fees? I don't need the attention right now. I don't need anything else. People talking about me. I know you got off, but a lot of people think that you shouldn't have got off. Maybe Drake doesn't want to be part of it. I don't know. Why would you be riding for your guy and then all of a sudden he says thanks for the lawyer fees and then you unfollow him? Who knows what happened with that? But anyways, top 5 is out. He's a free man, but I don't know what's going to happen to him now that Drake is unfollowing him, because everybody thought Drake would maybe put him on a track, maybe put him on. We'll see what happens. But most importantly, top 5 is a free man. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. A rep for Janet Jackson reveals that she did not authorize an apology for comments she made about hearing that Kamala Harris was not black. Rep says the singer is in mourning and unavailable for comments. So we did talk about this yesterday, or I think maybe it was Friday. I think it was yesterday's podcast where Janet Jackson had made a claim. Janet Jackson was doing an interview, and the guy or the girl, I don't remember who it was, asked her something about Kamala Harris. She said, hey, I didn't know that she was black. I heard that her father was black. And then it was a whole big thing online. How could Janet Jackson say that? She's listening to Donald Trump or whatever. I said to you guys, give the girl some grace. She probably just heard something, and Janet Jackson is not like the rest of us. I mean, she's Janet Jackson. She's detached, right? She probably heard something. Maybe she shouldn't have repeated it without knowing her facts, but whatever. People tore her up online. Then came this publicist that was like, hey, we just want to put out a release saying Janet Jackson apologizes. And then we hear that Janet Jackson's in mourning. She's not commenting, but why was she even talking with this article, this press article to begin with? But it comes out where that she's not apologizing for it, and she fired her publicist that tried to clean up her mess. So Janet Jackson is not sorry for her comments, and she's, I guess, standing 10 toes down saying, listen, it was a mistake. It's something that I heard. I didn't read too much into it. And hey, you know, if you want to hate on me, but I ain't apologizing for it. So I know there was a lot of people yesterday too in the comment section mad at Janet. Let me know what you guys think now that you know that the apology came out, and then it actually came out where that she really didn't apologize. So y'all probably even more mad at Miss Janet Jackson. All right, in our second quick story, prosecutors claim Yo Gotti's late brother, Big Jook, put up a $100,000 hit on Young Doplh. The trial for Young Doplh's murder started today, and officials are alleging that Yo Gotti's now deceased big bro, Big Jook, put out a 6-figure hit on the rapper's head. During opening statements, the Shelby County Assistant District Attorney alleged that Big Jook, the number 2 guy at CMG, was offering $100,000 to anybody willing to end Young Doplh's life. The ADA said Jook met with Justin Johnson and Mr. Smith, 2 suspects involved in the rapper's death. Apparently, Johnson, who is also a rapper, was looking forward to putting the money towards his rap career. The story is still developing. All right, so this was crazy viral yesterday. We all know that Yo Gotti and Young Doplh have been beefing for years and years and years in Memphis. And I mean, I don't really think this comes as a shock to anybody, really. We all know their beef, but the fact that the prosecution may have evidence, because if they're starting their opening statements with this, then it seems like they probably have proof. So it's still developing. We'll see what happens in the case. Like we just said also in the article, Big Jook has been passed away. He got shot a couple of months ago. So this is street stuff coming out into court stuff. So we'll see. Yo Gotti, Young Doplh, Big Jook, like, let's see the developments. Let's see what they have. And let's see if they go after Yo Gotti at some point. We'll see. All right, in our third quick story, Victoria Monet reveals that she and John Gaines are no longer together. She said, "We still adore and respect each other." Victoria Monet announced she and John Gaines are no longer in a relationship. The two welcomed their daughter together in February 2021. Despite their split, Victoria says there are absolutely no bad blood between them. All right, I have no idea who John Gates is. I don't know if he's a rapper, if he's a singer, if I don't know if he's famous or whatever. First I'm hearing his name. But I do know who Victoria Monet is, and I love her. I love her music. I love her look. I love her videos. I love everything about her. And I'm very, very happy she's single. So anybody out there who's seeing this, send this to Victoria Monet and let her know that Trent Out Loud is looking for her. All right, in our fourth and final quick story, X, formerly Twitter, will now allow block accounts to view profiles of users who have blocked them. This is just a crazy story to me, but an old new update. Twitter is changing how the block account feature works. Block accounts can view the public post of users who've blocked them, but they cannot engage with the post. So I block you on Twitter, but you could still see everything that I'm posting, but you just can't comment under my feed. This is Elon Musk doing his thing. What I like about Instagram is that you could actually limit the people who comment. You could quiet somebody, you could block somebody. And when you do block the person, not only are they blocked, but they're also blocked on every other Instagram account they create. Back in the day, you used to be able to block somebody and then they would just go create a fake account and then just come back and still comment or still come back and still view or whatever. But now what I love about Instagram is when somebody is blocked, they're blocked from that whole device, their whole universe. There's enough to know that even if you create another account. So I really like that. I think this is a stupid move by Twitter. It's my page. If I want to be able to block somebody from it, you should be able to block them completely. So why block them halfway? They should just leave it blocked or have it unblocked. I just don't agree, but I most of the time don't agree with what Elon Musk has to say anyway. So this is no surprise. All right, this brings us to question of the day. I think this is a really good question of the day, guys. What's the most delusional R&B song of all times? Summer Walker said, "He's mine. You might have had him once, but I got him all the time." Yeah, that's pretty, I wouldn't say delusional, but it's pretty toxic. Rocksteady said, Toni Braxton, "Breathe Again." All right, that could be delusional because she's pretty much saying that she'll never breathe again. Somebody said Bruno Mars, because I ain't catching a grenade for nobody. All right, I don't think he literally meant that he was going to catch a grenade. This is music, it's lyrics, but technically that is kind of delusional. Look Up Smile said, "It wasn't me, Shaggy," because yes, the F it was. That's funny, and 100% that is delusional. Yep, because in the song he says, "She caught me on the counter. She literally caught me," and then his friend is like, "Yo, just say it wasn't you." That's probably the most delusional, and it's not really an R&B song, it's a reggae song, but that is delusional because his girlfriend caught him red-handed, and his friend is like, "I got great advice for you, bro. Yo, just say it wasn't you." Hilarious. All right. Authentic Tina said, "The boy is mine, Monica and Brandy, because why are y'all in the hallway arguing about this, man?" For those of you who've seen the video, you know what she's talking about. Deluta82 said, "Aaliyah, age ain't nothing but a number because y'all didn't want to see the problem behind that statement." Ouch. For real. Y'all know Aaliyah married R. Kelly when she was like 15 years old or 16 years old. So yeah, age ain't nothing but a number. Kind of delusional. Natural Light Loft said, "Whitney Houston, the children are the future. Mama, have you seen these new children?" Yeah, that's funny. But that song is definitely not delusional, but that was funny. All right. One Tina said, "Escape, Little Secret, because what do you mean being in the same room with his girlfriend kind of turns you on? They was down bad." All right. I don't even know that song, but that does sound kind of delusional. Somebody said, Luther Vandross, "I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with somebody else, because no, what the F." All right. That was songs back in the day, though, man. That's how R&B was. Adriana Jennings said, "You're contagious. Touch me, baby. Give me what you got," is a little alarming when you think about it. That's funny. That was one of the Isley brothers. I can't remember what the guy's name was now, but that was really funny. All right, I'll read two more. Somebody said, "Diddy, I want a girl. He ain't want no girl. He wants boys." Wow, that's hilarious. And then the last one is, "Let's get married. We ain't getting no younger, so we might as well do it." How is that romantic? That is true, but it's not delusional, but yeah, that's true. Let's get married. We ain't getting no younger, so we might as well do it. Yeah, that's definitely not romantic. All right, let me know what you think the most delusional R&B or song just in general is. Mine is Shaggy, It Wasn't Me. That's totally delusional. Send me an email, trent@cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, yesterday I was running out of time and something messed up with my phone. I didn't have the rest of the NFL scores, so I'm going to read them off to you. Vikings beat the Texans 34-7. Yo, that game was really good. I really like CJ Stroud. I don't know what happened to him, but Vikings look really good, man. Like, they look good. If I'm not mistaken, I think Vikings in the NFC, right? Y'all know I go for Kansas City, right? So AFC is already locked. My backup team is Baltimore. So I'm looking for an NFC team to root for. So those sides of the games are not boring for me. I think Minnesota, if Minnesota is in the NFC, I'm definitely going for them. I really love Green Bay, Jordan Love, but he's injured. I think they're just resting him one more week, but he'll be back. But anyway, shout out to Minnesota. Broncos beat the Buccaneers. Packers beat the Titans. That too was promised to be a good game, but ended up being kind of boring. I think all games this past weekend was kind of boring, man. The Colts beat the Bears. The Seattle beat the Chargers. Seahawks beat the Dolphins 24-3. Again, that was boring. Panthers beat the Raiders. The Rams beat the 49ers. I heard that was a good game, actually. I missed that. That was a good game. The Lions beat the Cardinals. The Ravens beat the Cowboys. And they beat them 28-25. That, on paper, looks like it was a good game, but it was really boring, man. Cowboys really didn't do their thing. And then, of course, the last game Sunday night was my Kansas City Chiefs beat the Atlanta Falcons. No surprise there. Kind of a little bit of a boring game, but there were some scary moments. Atlanta almost came back two times in the fourth quarter, but my Chiefs defense held them on fourth down 2 times in a row. Everybody always talks about Patrick Mahomes, how amazing he is, and the receivers. People underestimate my Kansas City Chief defense, yo. That's what got us through last year when we had no receivers and we're dropping passes all the time. We saved us yesterday. We definitely have a more balanced team this year, but defense and offense, shout out to my Chiefs. All right, that is today's show. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, Hump Day. Before you go, just want to remind you guys of all the ways to keep up with the show. If you're used to watching this podcast on podcast platforms or on YouTube, please try to check me out on cfqr600.com Monday through Friday from 11 to 12. We play the Trent Out Loud Podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. It's a great hour, great way to enjoy the show. Don't forget to let me know if I should play more Diddy music. I already know not to play R. Kelly. I got you. Don't worry. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to this show on CFQR 600 or 600 AM on your radio in the Montreal area, and you cannot always catch the show from 11 to 12, don't worry, you never have to miss a show because we upload all the shows to YouTube or podcast platforms. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And if you're like me and you like watching your podcast on video, Spotify now supports video. So you have YouTube and Spotify as your video options. Lastly, you can follow me on any of the social platforms at Trent Out Loud. Follow the production company Exclusivity Media on Instagram. And for those of you who are listening on CFQR, stay tuned for my homeboy, Don Smooth, Midday Mix. It's always a good mix. I love how they put us together. We got Trent Out Loud Podcast and Don Smooth. We make a great team. Yo, we run in the station, yo. Shout out to Jim in the morning, too. But anyways, stay tuned for Don, Midday Mix. For those of you who are on YouTube podcast, thank you for checking me out. Check me out tomorrow's show. I'll see y'all guys. I'll see y'all later. Have a great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.